Right, okay, so we've got a Mark 1 Audi TT. This is the 3.2 V6. Not that it makes any difference to this. It's come in for, well, this fault was actually completely unrelated, didn't come in for this. However, this has obviously appeared somewhat overnight, whatever. It actually come in for a problem with the mass airflow sensor, which we are dealing with. So, went to move it the other morning, windscreen was damp, turned on the wipers, nothing. Absolutely nothing from the wipers. So, obviously thought, okay, maybe I'd left the bonnet open, because on a lot of these Volkswagens, Audis, all this food business, if you don't shut the bonnet, the wipers will not work. The squirters worked, you had everything coming out, obviously squirting for the washer jets, that was fine. But this, no wipers at all. So, obviously, I thought, okay, you know, usual, wiper motor's dead, it happens, whatever. So, to get access to the wiper motor, obviously you need to pull off a little rubber strip that runs along the front there, and then you can pull the wiper arms themselves off, take them off to 15mm nuts, take them off, then you can pull the scuttle panel itself off, and it lives in there on that little bracketry. Got 1, 2, 3 bolts, screws it in. So obviously first thought was, okay, we've got a power issue, so let's check the connector, etc. Connector is absolutely spot on, there's no corrosion there, all perfectly fine, no broken wires. However, when I was probing around in there with the power probe, I touched the outside of this casing with an earth signal, and it sprung into life, albeit it was very slow, but it sprung into life. And it would obviously start rotating, you take off the power probe, it would die off, put the power probe back on to earth this casing, it would come back to life again. So that told me that the actual unit itself, so albeit very slow, clearly was working. So albeit that we've got no problem on this piece, as in the connection into it, it's clearly an issue somewhere inside. So I thought, well, okay, we'll have a look inside it, see if we can come to any sort of conclusion of, you know, if there's an electrical problem inside it. It's not much to these, there's only going to be a little track inside it. So got it, obviously turned it over, and I unclipped this back piece where the connections go in. Again, you can see in there, there's no corrosion in there, it's absolutely fine. So, you know, leads you to believe there's something inside. So unclip these 4 tabs, you can pull this off. There's no connections or ribbon cables, but when you turn it over, you look inside here, you've got the 3 tracks, obviously for the power connections. Now, if you follow this one, this third one around, as you can see, follow it around, it comes up to this little tab here. But this little tab, as you can see here, is quite, it looks like it's been arcing out up here on this pad here, on this corner. And if you trace that back to where that goes onto here, it actually goes onto this little tiny tab that sticks out here on the casing. And as you can see, try and zoom in a little bit, you can see that tab is disgusting, and that tab right there is also disgusting. So that looks like it's been arcing out. That would be the earth to the chassis, the body, if you like, of this motor. So I think that if we clean this up and we clean that little pin up, I think we can get a working wiper motor. So we'll clean them up with a bit of emery, wire brush, whatever. Try not to get too much stuff inside here, clearly. Give it a clean up, and then we'll put it back together and see if it works. Right, okay, so we've cleaned off that pad there, and we've cleaned off that little silver tab there. So now we're going to reassemble and plug it back in and see what happens. So we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so we'll bolt it back in, plug back in, wipers on, and success. Absolutely spot on. Off, and we've stopped. So if you've got a Audi TT with wipers are not working, squirters are working, wipers not working, whip it out, have a little look at that, and hopefully it should fix your problem.